Hey guys, what's up? Dyson from Pennsylvania Outdoorsman. We got Dylan right up over those bushes. Today is first day of Pennsylvania trapping season. I'm here setting a coon set. He's right up on top setting a fox set. And we're gonna try and lay smack down on some fox and coon this year. Right, Dylan?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing here is I have a Duke #1 wired off with 14 gauge wire, and I'm gonna put some concoction, I call it, in there with some peat moss. And we have a trail right here. It's a coon trail, and putting it right off the side of the coon trail, wiring it off to this log right here. This is where the trap's gonna be bedded, and that's where the food's gonna go. And then I have some Caven's moonshine, and this is gonna be put right in the back behind it. This is my 8th trap that I'm setting. This is my 8th Duke #1 that I'm setting. And then I have 2 dog proofs out at a different area. And Dylan has set, is that your 3rd fox set?
3rd.
And we're gonna put a couple coon sets out for him too. Well, this is my final set. I got it wired off to this log right here, Duke #1, with some concoction, I call it, in the back, with some Caven's moonshine. And then right up here, Dylan put out his fox set. And Dylan, if you want to do some explaining on what baits and everything you got.
All right, so this is a fox set right here. I like this thing. It's called a dirt hole auger. These things are awesome, man. Drill a hole right in, quick and easy. And then I'm gonna use sheep's wool and put sheep's wool in the hole with some Caven's bait. Put some urine on the back, and that'll be finished with some gland lure maybe. And that's done.
And what trap you got in there?
I got a Bridger 1.65 with rubber jaws.
It's looking pretty nice. We're out in this open field. Got a trail coming out right here in the woods. He's got it set off right off to the side. Looking pretty nice, hoping it produces.
All right guys, it's Dylon from Pennsylvania Outdoorsman. What we're gonna do right here is make a fox set. Right over here, got a little trail coming out right there and there. And this little point really sticks out, so we're gonna put it right here. Cleared myself a little area. And what I'm gonna do first, because I love this auger. It's a great quick dirt hole driller. And I'm gonna drill it out first because it gives me extra dirt. I'm gonna put it right here. Sometimes you gotta go a little bit back and forth with it. The only downside of this is it does really fling dirt around a lot, but gives you a lot of extra dirt. I like that. That's pretty deep. If you want to come up here and show them how deep this hole is, it's pretty deep. Right
For
there.
comparison, it was all the way down
To about top there, so that's about 10 inches, 12 inches.
pretty deep.
I want to kind of get all this dirt behind me. I like to get all the dirt. And see, it is a little messy, but that'll be all right. And you want to kind of push the dirt up an inch so it doesn't cave in on itself. And then you can also like take your hand down there and push the dirt down. Now what I'll do is I'll make a trap bed. Got a Duke 1.5 right here. Just gonna set this baby
What we're using to stake it is an earth anchor, and all we have is a quick link going right to the trap.
Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a quick link because none of them want to open today, but so I like to put my trap down to kind of give me a little outline and then start making. I don't start like hacking at it really hard. I kind of take my good old time digging out, start shallow, put it in there to test fit it. Need to go a little more. You see, I'm also wearing knee pads to keep my scent off the ground. I used to squat down, but that is very uncomfortable. So get yourself a pair of knee pads. See, it's in there pretty snug. The thing I found with is your loose jaw tends to be the reason why your trap doesn't want to sit in there snug, so we'll get that in a second. But right now we're just kind of test fitting the trap to make sure it doesn't wobble. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive my earth anchor in right in the center of my trap bed. If I can get this on here right. There we go. Start that in the ground right here. Start whacking at it. Want to get it straight as possible. I mean, sometimes you got to go at an angle. And I'm right about at the top of the chain right here, so I'm going to just take this earth anchor and kind of, or the driver, kind of hit it and pull it out. And what I'll do is I'll remount a little hole so my chain can go down, and I'm going to beat that back down in. Yeah. Chain fits.
Pull it and set the earth anchor.
I didn't do that with the last one.
And what you want to do is just kind of give your earth anchor a little tug just to get that set in the ground.
Thanks for reminding me. I forgot to do that with the last one, but I think we'll be all right. Take that.
Yeah, once that fox gives it a little tug, it'll
that
set.
Down in there. Kind of meander my trap around. It's moving around a little bit. Sometimes I feel like the chain can really screw you up too. Bend these traps in. Kind of push it in there. Just fit it. I like to dig it out a little bit more, so it can sit in there real snug. We'll pack some dirt around it. This dirt's a little wet, but temperatures haven't been horrible. Only getting down to like, what, 48, 49-ish?
Yeah.
So we should be good with that. Let me get the pan here, that night latch means the trap's ready to go. You push on it, it doesn't move. See that? Means it's good. And if it's a little wobbly, we'll fix that just in a moment. I'll show you how to do that. What I like to do is take some peat moss and put that just in between the jaws. So that the trap, see, my pan isn't very best. It's not most level, but it's close enough for now.
Dylon, we got a visitor.
We do have a visitor. Over there is Mr. Horse. Just get that peat moss underneath the pan to keep it from, so that the pan can fire, or the trap can fire. And what I'll do is, now we're going to cover the trap back up. I'm going to get down, beat down the hard edges, because I heard the hard edges are not good. I'm kind of get as much dirt as possible. I might have to get some extra dirt. Put that over. Yeah, I'm going to go get some extra dirt quick. We'll be right back. Alright, so I got some extra dirt here. Just going to kind of put the dirt all around here. Get it right over the trap. Make like a little mountain almost. And we're going to come and find our pan here. Just kind of use circular motions. Don't be afraid to get your hands in there. Just be very light. And you're gonna pack around the trap, because if they feel anything loose, they're not gonna want to commit. And that'll also secure your trap in the ground a lot better. So if you're having problems with that, this is a great technique that I learned. Get that nice and snug in there. And then we're gonna fan it back out. Right there, trying to make a low spot. I've heard that the low spots are very good for, that's because that's where the animal tends to want to step apparently. So we're trying to make a little low spot right there. Put all the dirt out to the side. And then we'll get this remaining dirt, sift some of it back on, and you also want to sift around the area to blend it in. So you're not saying, oh look, the trap's right here. We'll get rid of that. And then we'll kind of just blend it all in. It's a little rough, but it'll do. Alright. And I'm not sure about roots. If somebody wants to, please subscribe and tell me if roots are a bad thing or not. I'm not sure, because there are roots in the hole. So please let me know. We are open to constructive criticism. So please criticize.
For bait, we're just gonna do the same thing. Some sheep wool with some Caven's Predator bait in the middle of it, and a little bit of red fox gland.
Yippers, and that's a finished set. We might put some backing behind there. It might not need backing because you have this big tall grass there, but
You'll just kind of want to make a tunnel for the foxes to come through, because if they come through this way and they steal the bait from the back, then they're completely missing your trap. So you just kind of want to make a tunnel. This spot right here is pretty nice because this is my uncle's house and he has chickens and goats right down there. So foxes are everywhere trying to get at them. And he's got woods right here coming up through. Got a horse pasture right here, and the fox are funneling out of these woods at night, and they're trying to go to the chickens over there and eat them. Well, this is our finished set right here. Trail coming out right there and over here. This spot produced last year, and we're hoping it'll produce again.
all right now what we're going to do is we're going to bait them up. I'd like to show you some cool thing. I put a little deer turd right there because I thought that was a nice little attractant here. And I saw on YouTube about this sheep's wool, and I think it's awesome because if you smell it, it smells like a farm. I mean, it's great stuff. And it's also, it's a great bait holder, and it just has its own smell. So it's a really good attractant, and I think you guys should really use it. There's the sheep's wool. I'm just going to take a glob of Caven's Predator bait and put it in the sheep's wool. Kind of stick it on there. Put it down in that hole. You gotta kind of scrape it off there. Yeah, it's a little messy, but it'll do. Alright, and I'll just take a stick and pitch it. Now, I'm gonna put some of this. All bakers, you can use anything you're comfortable with. You don't have to use gland. I mean, earlier season you probably want to use gland lure, but right now we're gonna use bobcat lure just to
Strike interest in the fox.
yeah, strike interest and see if it actually does work. Just gonna dab a stick in a little bit of it, rub it in the wood here, kind of give the smell here. And the nice thing is when you're putting scent down, you want all your smelly stuff to be back in your set. You don't want it around your trap. As much time as you can get his attention off the trap, the better. You want his attention away, his or her, could be a female fox, his or her attention away from the trap. Now, some people say, oh, you should, this is fox piss, by the way. Some people say, oh, you have to squirt it because the fox pees. I don't think it really matters because it's scent. It doesn't, if it smells like fox pee, they're going to know a fox pissed there. Alright, so I'm just going to take like 3 squirts. Don't want to like bombard the fox with smell because they have a way better smell than us. So, and that's how we pretty much bait up our dirt holes. Hope you enjoyed.
Right here, we're finishing up this set. All we gotta do is sift a little bit more dirt on top of the pan and bait it up, and then we're already done on this. Since it's soybeans and they're gonna harvest this, close to our trap we have green ribbon to mark where it is, and we're gonna hopefully catch a fox in here. We found fox turd, and I'm not sure where it is. We got it right over there, and we're gonna put it next to the set so that way it strikes the interest of a fox. They'll come over, check it out, see the bait, and step in our trap. So what we're doing right here is there's a coon trail coming right here, and there's a coon trail coming across from over here. So I'm gonna take a Duke number 1, wire it off to this tree where the two trails intersect. Now here, when we were setting our fox sets, we were being careful with gloves because fox are big into scent. Coons eat anything. They're little trashy things. They don't care. So what we'll do, get a little bit of a bed, kind of try and clear it out a little bit, get a little pocket for our concoction, make sure it's deep enough, and then all I have here is some 14 gauge wire wired off to the chain, and I'm going to wire it off to the tree right here. So keep it on the spool, put your trap where it's going to be, unravel your wire, wrap it around, figure out where it needs to be. You got your wire cutters, and just cut off some wire. Done with that. Take this, get it as low as you can to keep it as low profile as possible. Take it, wrap it as tight as you can. So that way, when you get that big 25-pound boar coon, they aren't gonna pull off. Take it, pull on it, make sure that ain't going nowhere. See on that, kind of slipped out. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna unravel it, I'm gonna make it a little bit tighter. Right. Now this is really tight. I don't think that 25-pound boar coon is gonna be slipping out of that. So now I hammered out my bed, hammered out my little hole. I have it wired off. For now, just gonna take the trap, I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna let my pan high for now. Make sure my wire is nice down low. Now that bed isn't deep enough, so I'm gonna take my hammer, dig out a better bed. Now what I forgot that I should have brought is my sifter. So for now, I'm just gonna leave this dirt here. I'm gonna get it out. I'm just gonna sift it up with my hands. So you got that. Put your trap down in. Put that up. Make sure your pan set to level. Now, you gotta be careful with where your chain is, because the only thing a coon cares about is the chain. So if you don't cover up your chain, they will dig up your whole entire trap, and then you're done. Now, because I forgot my sifter, I'm just grabbing big handfuls of dirt, rubbing it over the trap, trying to cover it. Now, This may take a while, so I'll finish this and then get back to you guys. So now that I've got my whole trap covered, I have the chain covered so that way he doesn't see it. Dig up my trap.
Got some geese.
Oh my, that's hundreds.
Oh, hot damn.
That's a couple hundred geese right there. But I've covered up my chain. Wire doesn't bother them. So now that I have all that, I took these 2 sticks and just kind of created a tunnel so that way the coons can't come in from the back and take my bait. So now that I have that trap is completely set up, I'm gonna take some concoction here and I'm gonna take a stick, and you only want about 1.5 spoons of this. You don't want too much. Put that in your hole. Come on, kind of dig it down in a little bit. Go ahead and zoom in on that, Dylan. Get that down in there. That's all you need. I'm done with that. Now, I take
That smells strong.
I'll take my Caven's moonshine right here. This is all I use for raccoons. And I'll just take a stick, just like this. Dip it down in there. That's all you need right there. Take it, rub it on the tree right here, get it around the trap. And then what I do is I'll take this stick and I'll just put it in the back there. That's it. That trap is set and that trap is done. Now, we're gonna come back tomorrow. There's gonna be a coon in it.
Well, that is a wrap of the first day of Pennsylvania trapping season, and me and Dylan had put out 12 coon sets and 5 fox sets, and Dylan did have to go home, so he couldn't be in this part, but we are gonna go out and check them tomorrow and get back to you guys with hopefully a couple catches.